one who would be kind of slightly the questioning one saying, hang on, this is insane. This is, you know, she was the one who would, would ultimately have the lines about, hang on a minute, he's a vampire? No, come on, this is silly. And that always used to be, in a way, George's role, the role of the human in it.
Can you talk a little bit about my favourite character, which is Herrick? Where did the idea for him come from, and how did he kind of change over the course of your writing?
I needed somebody because Mitchell, in a way, has always led half of his life in secret. So his association with the vampires has always been done on the quiet. But the thing is you need somebody for him to be talking to, quite simply. You need somebody for him to be playing off. And I like the idea of this kind of slightly Mephistophelian character who is trying to kind of drag him over to the dark side. I'd always imagined the character in the same way. I mean, in the pilot, obviously, we'd cast Adrian Lester as it, and Adrian did a fantastic job, but I'd always imagined the part slightly different. I'd always imagined that he was this very... it was kind of... there's a famous quote about the banality of evil. And in a way, what I wanted with Herrick was somebody who was utterly ordinary looking. Because then I felt that made him obviously more potent and more frightening in a way. Jason Watkins and I have a mutual friend, and I bumped into Jason at a party just as we were starting to cast the series, and I suddenly thought, my God, this is who the character is. And so Jason came in for an audition, and we just absolutely blew everyone away. And he brings such an extraordinary, a kind of sort of a weird sort of authority, but also it's the fact that on screen he's so relaxed and so clever. And I always felt about Herrick is that he's somebody who is always 5 or 6 steps ahead of the game. So he's always the smartest guy in the room. And like I said, what Jason brings to the role is an extraordinary sort of affableness. And a kind of and he's very unprepossessing in a way, and like I said, just that kind of ordinary look just makes the character even more deadly.
I agree. In the last season, there were some pretty big themes going on. Was there a storyline that you were most proud of over the course of that season?
Yeah, I think the wolf-shaped bullet worked pretty well. I was quite happy with it. It's funny. When I put that phrase in we never called it that until I put that phrase in the first script. When we'd been talking about it, we just used to refer to it as the prophecy. But I think actually and so it wasn't literally until I was writing Leah's dialogue in episode 1 that phrase sort of appeared on the screen. I was quite pleased with that, because the thing is, it always struck us as painfully obvious that it was going to be George, and we just thought, oh come on, everyone is going to be able to work this out. And what was interesting, looking at the blogs and looking at forums for Being Human, is that everyone. And maybe people just didn't want to believe it would be George, but everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be McNair, oh, it's going to be Nina, oh, it's going to be Tom. But no, very few people actually thought it was George, and we were quite pleasantly surprised by it.
For me, it changed on a weekly basis who I thought it was going to be, but I guess that's...
It's like The Killing. You've seen, The Killing. Every week, so, oh, it's him, look, he's shifty.
How did relocating the show